In this bass lesson, you're going to learn 5 more beginner bass lines guaranteed to impress. Hi, I'm Luke from Become a Bassist, and in this old school edition of Beginner Bass Lines, Volume 3, we're going to look at some old school bass lines that are going to get people excited about your playing. Welcome to Become a Bassist, where it's all about no BS bass lessons to help you play better bass, have more fun, and become the best bassist that you can be. So we're up to Volume 3 of this beginner bassline series. I never really expected to make more than one of these bad boys, but I kept getting tons of comments and emails from people wanting me to show even more beginner bass lines, so here we are. That also means if you have beginner bass lines that you want me to show you, write them in the comments down below. It makes a big difference when I go to shoot these videos. This time we're doing more of a themed lesson, so all these bass lines are taken from old school kind of classic rock songs. They can be great bass lines to practice with and learn from, or of course torment everyone at your local guitar shop by playing them over and over again. Your call. Our first bass line was super highly requested in previous videos, and it comes from one of my favorite albums of all time. It's Pink Floyd's Money. We'll just be focusing on the intro part, which everyone knows, and it sounds like this. Such a cool riff. Obviously the original was written with a pick, but you can do it with fingers, it's totally fine. So we're starting on this B here, 2nd fret on the A string, and we're jumping straight up to the B an octave above, 4th fret on the G string. And then we go to the 4th fret on the D string, the F sharp, and then come back to that B on the A string. So the first half of the line, super simple, just sounds like this. Yeah? Now the second half, also pretty simple, just 4 notes. Now we're starting on the 2nd fret of the E string, this F sharp right here, then open A string, going up to that 2nd fret again, that B, and then ending with an open D string. So, F sharp, A, B, D, and after that we just go back to the start and repeat. So you stitch the 2 parts together and the whole thing sounds like this. Yeah, all the notes have the same rhythm apart from the high B flat and the high B and the high F sharp. Those two are a little bit quicker, but everything else is just super straight ahead, super on the beat. What a tune, and what a great album too. Next though is a bass line that's almost guaranteed to get drunk people singing way too loudly, so you know, wield this one with some care. It's Journey's Don't Stop Believing. And by the way, if I ever go too fast for you, don't worry at all. I've made the tabs and notation for all these bass lines available for a free download. I'll put a card right up here, as well as a link in the description where you can get them all and work through them at your own pace. I'm sure you've heard Don't Stop Believing before, but it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 1. Such a cool bass line. It's almost like the hook of the song. I mean, if we're being super honest, that is the hook of the song. So we're starting with a super powerful low E. Now this song feels so good when you're playing with a really solid drummer. Those hits on beat 1, those low E's, they're just magic. But next we're playing this. F sharp and G sharp and up to B, 2nd and 4th frets on the E string and 2nd fret on the A string. 2, 3. Yeah. Now from here we're going up to play C sharp, then up to D sharp, and then back down to C sharp. That's 4th and 6th frets on the A string. Yeah. And then to kind of finish off the first half of this phrase, we'll play this. Yeah, D sharp, E, and then A, and then 6th and 7th frets on the A string. You could also go down to the open A as well, that'd be fine, but you know, 5th fret on the E string works great too. And then back down to the E string, so 6th and 7th frets on the A string again, and then anticipating that E, perfect, yeah? So the second half pretty much starts in the exact same way. We get this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, And this is where it changes, yeah? We've already had that so far, but when we get to the C sharp and the D, the 4th and 6th frets on the A string, we don't go back here to the C sharp, we actually go to the same fret on the E string, the G sharp, the 4th fret on the E string. Just like that, yeah? Then we get like a little sneaky high G sharp, 6th fret on the D string, before coming back down to the low G sharp on the E string, and going up to the A right there. I guess you could also go to the open A. That works as well. But I like going up here because it sets you up for the very last part of the phrase, which is to play the D sharp and E again, and then finally hitting our open E string right on beat 1. So it's a little different than the first half where we kind of pushed the rhythm of that E. It was anticipated. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Whereas this time we wait a little bit and get the high E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and land right on beat 1. Beautiful. So the whole thing, one more time, sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Just like that. Oh, then just to end it nice and cleanly there. What a right proper banger. Next though, we're going to chill out a little bit with Steve Miller Band's The Joker. Very cool song and a wicked bass line. Sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then down there. Yeah. Now the bass line on the recording, it changes it up a fair bit. There's a lot of variation. So I've just kind of picked one that's, pretty easy to play and has the right kind of spirit for the song, So if you are really interested, I've included a couple more variations in the PDF download that you can get in the description underneath this video, or I'll put a card up here for it as well. But it's pretty sweet, right? Yeah? We're starting off on a low F, 1st fret on the E string, we hit that twice, 1, 2, just like that, before playing G, A, and then hitting the B flat twice. That's the 3rd fret on your E string, open A string, and then 1st fret on your A string. Yeah, then we get this part. Yeah, that's my favorite part of the line. We're playing C and D before coming back down to hit the C twice. So that's the 3rd and 5th frets on the A string. You could also hammer that one. That's an option as well. But yeah, so far. And here's where the fiddly bit comes. Yeah, we're starting from that G from before, the 3rd fret on the E string, and all we're doing is that same walk up, G, A, B flat, so 3rd fret on the E string, open string on the A, and then 1st fret on the A string. But when we land on this B flat, we hit it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then drop back down to the open A string, hit that twice, ba, ba, and then finally the G once, and then the whole thing repeats, yeah? So the rhythm of that goes, yeah, da, 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 boom, boom. Yeah. So the whole thing, 2, 3, 4. Couldn't be simpler. Like I said, there are a bunch of different variations on the recording, so check some of them out for more variety, but it's such a great song for just playing with mates. Super fun, super chill. Next though, we're going even older school and super simple. This would be like an ideal first song for an absolutely new bassist. It's Creedence Clearwater Revival's Down on the Corner. Now the most famous kind of riff sounds just like this. Yeah, super simple. We're starting on a C, 3rd fret on the A string, and going down to the 5th fret on the E string, an A. Again, you could also play that as an open A as well, whatever floats your boat. But after you get that, we get a G, 3rd fret on the E string, before heading back to our starting note and playing it twice. So, simple enough so far, right? Then we go back to that A again, and that G again as well. before playing a B, 2nd fret on the A string, and finishing that off with 2 hits on the C. Yeah, so that's the first part of this bass line. C, A, G, C, C, A, G, G, B, C, C. Yeah, that's pretty simple so far. We play through that 2 times and then take nearly the exact same idea and start it on the D string instead of the A string. The only difference in this second part of the phrase is at the very last note. Instead of playing the last note where we would, if we kept it exactly the same, we're going to move that note 2 frets to this G. So instead of playing and ending on that F right there, we're going to move that note 2 notes up to the 5th fret, 2 frets up to the 5th fret on the G string. See how we did that? Just change that one note of the shape. And then all we do is go back to our original shape and play that one more time. Just like that. The whole thing is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to the D string, up to the G there, and then just like that, nothing to it. Our final bass line in this lesson is also the oldest, Cream's Sunshine of Your Love. Classic riff, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know you know this one. Super classic. There's a couple of different versions of this riff. The one at the very start of the tune is that one we were playing. We're starting at this high D, 7th fret on the G string right there. 2 of those before going 2 frets down to the C and immediately back up. So 1, 2, bum, bum. Then we get this. 7th, 6th, and 5th frets on the D string. That's A, A flat, and G. So we have, and then we get this. D, F, D, D, F, D, 5th fret on the A string, 3rd fret on the D string, and then back to the 5th fret on the A, right there. So you put it all together. Yeah. Now you could also play the same thing starting on the D string up high. That totally works as well. In the verses though, things are slightly different. In the verses we don't get the high notes up here or up here. Instead we get them down here. Everything else is the same, it's just those first 4 notes are down here instead. Yeah, so we get this verse version, we get that 4 times. Second time, oh pardon me, can't talk and play at the same, pardon me, can't talk and play at the same time. Let's pretend number 3. Then we get the original shape happening again, but starting on your G, so 5th fret on the D string. We get that twice. Honestly, if you just know this one riff, you know the majority of the song, and at least you'd be able to kind of jam along with some buddies, and that would be totally awesome. Now, if this is the first of the beginner bassline videos of mine you've come across, you're totally missing out. They're great fun, super handy to know. I've made a playlist of all the beginner bassline lessons that you can get into right here. Go through all the basslines in there, and you'll never be caught off guard when someone says that dreaded phrase, play something for me. So I'll see you in there with even more beginner basslines guaranteed to impress.